What's the difference between a sales funnel and a sales funnel that converts almost every time? Today I want to dive into the most important strategies and the tips to help you create a high converting sales funnel. As we dive into the tips for how to create a high converting sales funnel, I first want to show you the two most important parts of a funnel that you need to master high conversions. And after that, as a bonus, I'm going to show you my don't miss the bus technique that will help you accelerate those conversions. And then I'm going to show you the four most important tips to keep in mind when it comes to your sales funnel and messaging. And finally, I want to tell you a story that proves that changing the price isn't always the answer. Actually, it rarely is the answer to get your funnel to convert. So we'll talk about that too. Let's talk about the two most important parts of a funnel that you need to master for high conversion. The first one is the offer. You can have a funnel, but if what you're selling on it or offering on it isn't exciting, proprietary, valuable to the person who looks at it, they're going to bounce off that page really quick. So what makes a good offer? Let's talk about that. The most important things you need for an offer is obviously something that's providing value. It's showing your proprietary mechanisms, why your strategy or your product, your service, whatever you're showing is unique, different than what anyone else has to offer. And in this way, it's going to motivate the buyers to take action. Because if it's like, hey, I'm going to help you with your mindset, what's the mechanism that you're teaching them that's going to help them in a way that they can't just get from a book or a YouTube video? The other thing you want to show on your page, case studies or social proof, showing other people that you've helped or provided this service or provided this value for that might be exactly in their shoes, that you can show how I've helped other people, that I've given them this value, and that look at these results that it's given them. That's going to paint the picture that if I opt in or buy or sign up, I might get those same results. Remember that your audience is signing up for ease and speed, that the solution that you're providing to them is going to get them that result faster, easier, and better than ever. The second most important part of your funnel is the messaging. I know, were you expecting me to talk more about, the buttons here and the pictures here? Yes, that's important, but if you don't have this stuff, remember, your audience needs to have a reason to sign up or opt in or buy. So the messaging is going to be really important. And when your audience gets to a funnel, they might have some objections that come up. They might say, well, this isn't for me, or I'm not ready for this, or no, this just isn't something that interests me. So it's your job, it's your moral obligation as a marketer to become good at messaging and positioning and presenting your proprietary offers. Your messaging should clearly display the benefits that your offer is going to give them, the pain points it's going to solve for them, and show them how this can overcome any objection that they might have. Now, your audience has three different types of objections. Typically a vehicle, internal, and external. We also call these false beliefs. A vehicle false belief is about the thing itself. What is the vehicle, the solution that you're providing, that thing? So for me, my vehicle might be video marketing. I might be teaching my audience how to implement video marketing in their business, and a vehicle objection for them could be, well, I don't need videos. Video marketing isn't going to work for me. And for me to overcome this, I need to explain why. Maybe I show them some statistics. Maybe I show them some examples of other businesses that this is working for. I show them social proof of other people that are getting incredible results because of this vehicle that I'm presenting to them. The second category of false belief that they might have is an internal false belief. That's typically something that has to do with them. Might be an insecurity. Maybe they might say, let's go back to my video marketing example, I'm shy on camera. I'm not a good speaker. I don't know what to say in a video. And I overcome that also by giving examples of other people that have done it, or give them the tools to be able to help them. So if they say, I don't know what to say, guess what? I have a whole scripting template, or I have all these other plug and play things that will help you to get to that result faster, even if you think that you can't do it. Now, the third false belief category is an external false belief. And this is typically something outside of themselves. So whether they feel like they don't have the support around them, maybe they feel like they don't have enough time or enough money. That's something you can easily overcome, typically by showing them the value versus their fears. So you can show them, hey, you might think that you don't have enough money for this, but what are you investing your money or your time into otherwise? And here are some other people that have gotten to these results. So for example, maybe you say that you have a course that you want to sell and it's $1,000. And they say, I don't want to spend $1,000 on this right now. I don't have the money. I need to do this to be able to make six figures first before I can spend this. And when you show that, listen, other people have taken this program, they've invested $1,000 and it helped them make this much money this fast. And you can maybe show some social proof. You can help them overcome those objections, knowing that they're going to invest. It's not a price, it's not a cost, it's an investment. It's going to help them make more, whether it's money or whether it's improving their relationships or improving their health. Where are they investing the time and money already that you can help them with and not have to invest time in other things, but the time in what's going to finally work for them? As I'm explaining that, are you starting to think of maybe the false beliefs that your audience has shared with you? What are their vehicle, internal, external false beliefs that you've heard? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you have some ideas of how you'll overcome those in the future. Next, I want to share with you my don't miss the bus technique. This is one of the most important tips to keep in mind when it comes to your sales funnel messaging. So the don't miss the bus technique, bus stands for bonus, urgency, scarcity. Again, when we were just talking about your audience having false beliefs, and the bonuses, urgency, and scarcity can help your audience to overcome them. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been offered, hey, if you sign up right now, I'm also going to give you this? Or even like at the grocery store, buy 5 bananas, get the 6th one free. It gives you a reason to take action. So a bonus for your audience could be something that overcomes a false belief that they have. Let's say if they are saying, well, I don't know if I can sign up for this because I'm not really a techie person. Maybe you have, hey, as a bonus, guess what? I'm also adding this in this techie guide for the non-techie person. And that's going to overcome the objection that they might have. So anytime you start to hear an objection, think of how maybe you can put something into the offer that will overcome that before they even have the question come up. The U in bus is for urgency. So typically it's that tension that they feel like when there's only, maybe it's a certain amount of time or there's a small window. You might see offers online that say, hey, the window or the door is closing Friday at midnight. Well, you can believe that Friday at 11 p.m., there's a lot of sales coming through from those last minute people that have been thinking about it, and that tension is building and they know this is the last chance to get in. So if you can create some ethical urgency that now's the time to take action or you might miss the bus, this is the time to sign up. Give them a reason to act fast. The S in bus is for scarcity, and I bet you've experienced this yourself. Have you ever wanted to get tickets to a concert? Maybe your favorite band was going to be coming to your town, and you know that concert tickets sell out pretty quickly and there's only a certain amount of tickets available for the venue. So you get on that site really quickly, you have your credit card ready, you grab the seats and you get in. The same thing with your audience. Maybe you have something where you're like, I only have 5 spots available. I only have this amount of time left. How can you create bonuses, urgency, and scarcity for your offers? That's going to give them a reason to act fast. Now, as a disclaimer, we want to make sure that these are ethical. It's not lying and saying, oh, we only have 5 spots available and there's always 5 spots available, because if people see that and they feel lied to, that's going to hurt their trust and prevent them from coming back and signing up or being a part of your community in the future if they feel like they've been tricked. So anytime you have bonuses, urgency, scarcity, make sure that it is ethical. If you're saying I only have 5 spots left, close it after 5 spots. You can always reopen it in a month from now, and then you create new urgency and scarcity built into your next launch. Now let's talk about the 4 most important tips to keep in mind when it comes to your sales funnel messaging. The first tip is positioning value versus the actual price. So if you've ever seen this, we call it an offer stack, where you have every single thing that's included in your offer stack, and you show how every individual, it's almost like a line item of this is what this is valued at, this is what this is valued at, this is what this is valued at. And at the bottom of that, that's where you can say the whole value is, maybe you say the whole value of this is $5,489, but today you're getting it for just $97. So it's showing you have all of this value, but here's the price. So it price anchors for them, thinking, wow, this is so much value. This is incredible. Oh my gosh, I want all of this. And the price is only this. So it makes it an easier decision for them to sign up for that thing when you show all the level of value versus what they actually have to invest. The second most important thing to keep in mind when it comes to your sales funnel messaging is your customer benefits and pain points. What are the things that they need to get in this offer that's going to give them the solution to their problem the fastest, because we need to know what are their pain points. What's keeping them up at night? What is the biggest problem that if you just had a magic pill for, if you could wave a magic wand, is going to help solve that for them? Speaking of magic pill, let me give you a little analogy here. There's this concept about creating your offer, calling it a painkiller versus a vitamin. And think about this. When you have a headache, you're likely to just grab for that painkiller to relieve you of that pain right away, right? Vitamins, because they're something that can help you and they nourish your body and give you the things you need, you'll take it every day, but if you forget, it's not really that big of a deal. And you're more likely to buy the painkiller when you really need it than buy the vitamins because you're healthy. And although it's proactive in keeping you healthy, the thing that you need when you have a pain, you'll do anything to solve that. So is your offer a painkiller or a vitamin? Are you able to quickly remove a pain for them? Or are you just trying to improve something that is okay in the first place and might not be urgent for them to heal or solve? The third thing to consider is the customer journey. When they're going through that sales funnel or their offer, are they confused? Are they overwhelmed? There's a fine line between over-delivering and overwhelming. When they're going through your page, what does it look like? Is it a whole bunch of blocks of text that feels overwhelming? Have you ever seen a page where it was just tons of stuff that you felt like, gosh, I don't want to read that? The display of your content needs to be clearly broken up. Maybe you have a big headline here. Maybe you have your opt-in, you put in their email right here. Maybe you have a nice picture or video, something that's visually appealing while also giving them the information that they need easily and simplified. And then lastly, probably the most important thing is to always be monitoring and optimizing your funnel. Once you create it, it's not just set it and forget it and walk away and it's fine. You want to be looking at your stats. Are people coming to the page and leaving? Are they coming to the page and opting in, and then on the order form, like where are they maybe falling off? There's also apps and softwares that you can use that can show where people are spending time on your funnel, and if they maybe get stuck at some place or they spend a lot of time, that can give you some information on the customer experience. Anything that you can do to simplify and really highlight what you want your audience to see and where you want to send them to, that's going to really make the customer journey simple and lead them towards your high ticket and lead them towards your programs with ease. If you're interested in learning more about messaging, we have tons of videos on that topic on this channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And lastly, if your funnel isn't converting, you may feel like, do I need to change the price? But here's the thing, when I work with my clients, that's usually the last thing that I would ever tell them. It's usually about changing the offer, the messaging, the positioning, the bonuses, urgency, scarcity, that's what's gonna help your funnel to convert more. Now that you know how to create a high converting sales funnel, why don't I take care of all the heavy lifting for you? I actually have a ton of high converting sales funnels that I'm just gonna give you access to, and in addition, show you how you can use them to your best ability and get them to convert. So if you click the link below, you can get my Jaxx Share Funnels totally free.